news. Governor Oberewori assures non-indigenous of his administration commitment to ensure peaceful coexistence. State Complementary and Alternative Medicine Bill passes second reading. President Bola Tinubu urges political stakeholders to uphold the rule of law. And abroad, Ukraine signs a deal granting United States access to a 30-day ceasefire with Russia. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Delta Television News tonight. My name is Pauline Okolie. The non-indigenous communities in the state has passed a vote of confidence in Governor Sheriff Oberewori for his excellent performance since he came to office. Ejimud Weme reports.
Speaking on behalf of leaders of the non-indigenous communities in the state during a solidarity visit to the governor at Government House Asaba, Professor Pius Chimuba Ike noted that the governor had done well in the areas of infrastructural development, human capital, education, healthcare, security, and the general well-being of veterans and residents of the state. Professor Ike disclosed that the achievements recorded by the governor had earned him several awards, which are listed to include This Day and Arise Television Governor of the Year 2024, Silverbird Governor of the Year 2023, New Telegraph Governor of the Year Award on Infrastructure, as well as the 400,000.
Your visit reminds me of the rich diversity and resilience that defines our great state. Delta State, known as the Big Heart, has always been a beacon of hope and opportunity for people from all walks of life. I want to express my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you for choosing to make Delta State your home.
The non-indigenous communities at the event presented the most all-inclusive Governor Award 2025 to Governor Oberewori. Responding, Governor Oberewori, who expressed appreciation to the non-indigenous communities in the state for their solidarity visit, assured them that his administration was committed to creating an environment that would be conducive for growth, development, and peaceful coexistence. The governor said everyone resident in the state, irrespective of ethnic or geographical background, deserved to enjoy democracy dividends.
It is therefore with immense gratitude and deep appreciation that we assemble today to acknowledge and celebrate your exemplary leadership as Governor of Delta State. By your administration's policies, actions, and personal disposition, you have affirmed that governance is about people. Please.
While saying that elections have come and gone, Governor Oberewori appealed to them to extend the love and support that they had shown to his administration, to the government at the center, assuring that there was hope for Nigeria. Ejime Uduime reporting.
Governor Sheriff Oberewori has decried the state rate of falsification of age in the civil service, the state civil service. Governor Oberewori expressed his displeasure at a dinner organized by the state government for top government functionaries and top officials of government establishments held at Event Center, Asaba. Ejimil Dweme reports.
The governor said civil servants who had attained the age of retirement should retire from the service to create opportunity for the younger generation. He noted that the state had a workforce of over 60,000 with a wage bill of over 16 billion naira monthly, and appealed to permanent secretaries, heads of extra-ministerial departments, directors and deputy directors to continue to discharge their duties diligently and professionally. Governor Oberewori stressed that due process will be followed in appointing a new head of service when the time came, adding that more permanent secretaries would also be appointed in due course. He thanked the workforce for their continued support for his administration.
I want to appeal to our permanent secretaries, directors, deputy directors. We have over 900 here. In some states, they're almost half of the staff of that workforce of that state. We should get value for our money. Contractors are not being owed. If any contractor say they are owing, then they should come and say it. I don't even wait that every month do cash budget. No, every week we do cash budget.
In his remarks, the state head of service, Mr. Reginald Bayoko, said the forum was a demonstration that the state workforce was a reliable and a valuable partner in progress with the government. He thanked the governor for his worker-friendly policies since he came into office and assured him of the total support of workers in advancing his more agenda.
I thank all of you for all you are doing, for all the support. You know that head of service said a lot here today. So, and I know who is taking over will be strong. I'm not going to do say charity that will follow due process. If you think we want to make you head of service, follow the normal procedure. It's done by
Mr. Bayoko, who is buying out of service on the 29th of this month, enjoined the governor to take steps to enhance the service and boost the morale of workers.
The moment you assumed office, even before you assumed office while you were campaigning, but from the moment you assumed office, you have made it abundantly clear that your administration is committed to strengthening the capacity, efficiency, and welfare of civil servants with the ultimate aim of improving service delivery.
The evening featured entertainment through music, comedy, and cultural dances by the Delta State Cultural Troupe. Ejime Uduime reporting.
The State House of Assembly has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. This was a sequel to a motion moved by the Majority Leader, Honorable Emeka Nwobi. Also at plenary, the Delta State Complementary and Alternative Medicine Regulation Bill was read the second time. Favor Okafo reports.
Congratulating Governor Oborevwori on his giant development strides, the Speaker, the Right Honourable Emomotimi Gwon, said Deltans had never had it so good as a remarkable development across every sector of the economy was visible to all. He said the Governor's various awards were clear testaments of his achievements, adding that Deltans were indeed proud of their Governor and urging him to do more.
This Honourable House to now pass implicit vote of confidence on the Governor of Abia State, His Excellency, Right Honourable Elder Sheriff Oroquedo Oborevwori, for all that he has been doing for Deltans, for the developmental strides, for the welfare of public servants, and for every sector of Delta State, how he has touched the life of Deltans.
Thereafter, the Delta State Complementary and Alternative Medicine Regulation Bill was read the second time. The lead sponsor of the bill and member representing Isoko South 2, Honorable Ferguson Omo, said the intended bill was meant to repeal the law of 2008, changing its name from Traditional Medicine Board to Complementary and Alternative Medicine Board. He said that the board had suffered a lot of setback as the name was hindering its growth. Other lawmakers who spoke in favor of the bill said the intended bill will restructure the Traditional Medicine Board, regulate the practices of the members, and ensure that only qualified practitioners were registered while spelling out fines for offenders. The bill, which enjoyed unified support, was then referred to the House Committee on Special Bills by the Speaker to report back on April 1. Favor Okafo reporting.
The wife of the state governor and founder of the Youth Matter Charity Foundation, Dickiness Tobore Oborevwori, has underscored empowering the educational system to provide quality education and opportunity for children to enable them realize their full potentials. Dickiness Oborewori highlighted this while commissioning quality assurance monitoring vehicles and distribution of instructional materials for school children at the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, Asaba. Florence Oyibodo reports.
Dickiness Oborewori, represented by the wife of the Deputy Speaker in the State House of Assembly, Mrs. Ifoma Akporo, said education was a cornerstone of development in any society, and as such, every child deserved access to the pursuit of knowledge. While commending the leadership of the SUBEB for its dedication and foresight in making the vision a reality, the governor's wife noted that her pet project, the Umata Charity Foundation, will continue to support the educational welfare of children, including children with special needs in the state.
I encourage all stakeholders to join hands in our shared mission of building a brighter future for every child in Delta State.
The executive chairman of SUBEB, Honorable Samuel Marere, commended the passion and commitment of Governor Sheriff Oborewori to the growth of education sector and the payment of the state counterpart fund. He said the commission also procured instructional materials for primary and junior secondary schools across the 25 local government areas and called on local government education authorities and school heads to ensure the materials go to the end users.
The distribution of 2024 instructional materials produced by our able and proactive governor, His Excellency, the Right Honorable Sheriff Francis Orokwedo Oborewori, the best governor of the year in Nigeria.
Items commissioned included 3 mini buses, instructional materials, agricultural and sports materials. Present at the occasion was a member representing Udokwa West in the State House of Assembly and Chairman House Committee on Education, Honorable Charles Emetulu. Florence Oibodoro reporting.
The United Nations Women Coordination Mechanism Platform, in partnership with Ministry of Women Affairs, Social and Community Development, women-led networks, and professional women-led association, today organized a one-day stakeholders consultative dialogue in commemoration of the United Nations International Women's Day, with the theme Accelerating Action for Women and Girls, Rights, Equality and Empowerment. The event was held at Asaba, the state capital. Esther Oputa reports.
The Commissioner for Women Affairs, Community and Social Development, Honorable Pat Ajudwa, while delivering a welcome address, said there was need for women to be coordinated in families, businesses, and jobs, as they were the backbone of the society.
Anything that has to do with women, I am there.
Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Civic Engagement and Civil Society, Mr. Rex Anigoro, encouraged women to educate young girls on good virtues and proper morals. A director in the Ministry of Women Affairs, Community and Social Development, Mrs. Faith Okpokworo, said gender equality and women empowerment were vital tools to achieving a better society. The chairperson, Forum of Female Permanent Secretaries, and the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Environment, Dr. Mini Oseji, exposed the women to the dangers of poor stress, mental and social health management, encouraging women to properly plan their daily activities and ensure regular medical checks.
What are these routine examinations? We have things like chest x-rays, stool tests, we call it microscopy, urinalysis, blood tests like PCV, WBC, neutrophils, lymphocytes, that's the total and differentials, blood film, and cervical screenings, clinical breast examination, self-breast examination, mammogram, prostate, that's for the men, surface antigen, electrocardiography, serum cholesterol, blood glucose.
The coordinator, reproductive health in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Waimi Ann Francis, threw light on sexual and reproductive rights of women and the need for protection to reduce mortality rates of pregnant women. In their goodwill messages, the coordinators of the UNJW from various groups, including the Forum for Women Educationists FAWE, outlined activities by their groups to achieving gender equality and women empowerment and preventing gender-based violence, female genital mutilation, and other forms of violence against women and girls. The convener of the UNJW and civil society organizations representative, Ambassador Eris Jewo Ibi, said the UN Women Coordination Mechanism platform was saddled with the responsibility of coordinating women activities in all sectors to achieve the Beijing Declaration on Rights of Women and Girls.
The major objective of the UN Women Coordination Mechanism platform is to bring all women groups together.
The event featured displays of wares produced by the Working Fingers International Initiative, as well as the cutting of the UN International Women's Day cake. Esther Oputa reporting.
Governor Sheriff Oborewori has commended Delta State pilgrims to the Holy Land for their peaceful conduct. Governor Oborewori gave the commendation at the presentation of Jerusalem Pilgrim Certificates and Badges to the 272 Delta State pilgrims to the Holy Land of Jordan and Israel. The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner in the Bureau for Special Duties, Honorable Ejiro Etachirue, said the pilgrims displayed themselves as true ambassadors of Delta State in Jordan and Israel, emphasizing the need for Christians to be hearers and doers of the Word of God. Members of the United Ndokwa for Growth and Development Association have visited the traditional ruler of Utagbogbe, Isaac Obi the First, stating that a source stand to inform the federal states and oil companies operating in Ndokwa Nation to provide electricity supply to the communities in order to attract development to the Ndokwa Nation. Henry Osiaio reports.
For almost a decade, the Ndokwa Nation has continued to grapple with total power outage, despite having communities who play host to major oil companies, including Ajib, Midwestern Oil and Gas, Sterling Oil, Sepco, Shell, among other oil exploration companies in the area. To this extent, the United Ndokwa for Growth and Development decided to join the move for oil companies operating in Ndokwa Okwane Federal Constituency to provide them with electricity. Addressing the traditional ruler of Utagbogbe community, Isaac Obi the First and his Council of Chiefs, the chairman of the body, Comrade Kunili Shola Friday, represented by the Public Relations Officer of the group, Comrade Moses Onyegu, said lack of electricity has hindered growth and development in the area. The group called on the federal and state government, as well as oil companies in the area, to, as a matter of urgency, phantom a means to bring electricity to Ndokwa Nation.
Ndokwa Nation is one of the largest ethnic groups, not just in Delta State, but in the nation at large. It's a nation that has been blessed, richly blessed by God, with abundance of natural resources. But yet, when you look at the community, it's a shadow of what it ought to be. We have the IPP step down here. The source of the IPP step down in Obusi is coming from Okpai here, and yet we don't have lights in Ndokwa Nation. That is one. Then it's bewildering to hear that even Sterling Global is the one supplying Asaba light, and yet the community where Sterling Global has no light. So we've seen reasons why we should come up as an association to reach out to the necessary government bodies and every concerned persons that it is high time they light up Ndokwa Nation and bring true development to Ndokwa Nation.
Responding, the traditional ruler of Utagbogbe community, Isaac Obi the First, described the situation as appalling, especially with the abundance of gas and other mineral resources in Ndokwa. He assured the group of his support towards ensuring that electricity is brought to Ndokwa Nation.
Sterling Global is supplying light to Asaba. And the town in which the facilities are don't have it. Now, how does it look like? So my appeal is that we should come close to some of our politicians in order to assist us.
Some residents of Kwale in an interview spoke on how lack of electricity had hampered small and medium businesses and other developments, while calling on the federal, state government and oil companies in their domain to come to their rescue by providing them with electricity.
So we are suffering it. Even in my job that I'm doing also the same thing. If it will be taken care of, I will be so happy now. So I feel like if it's government or I don't know, or the companies around us, if they can help us to bring light, it will be very fine.
I can't even remember. What is 7 years? I'll be 8 years. We remain in darkness. So if people should help us. Thank you. So if they go give us the light, even from this minute, we go happy.
The group called on all Ndokwa sons and daughters as well as other groups in Ndokwa Nation to join them in the move to ensure the electrification of Ndokwa Nation. Henry Usiayu reporting.
President Bola Tinubu has said that the political stakeholders in Rivers State must respect court rulings and uphold the rule of law to restore peace in the crisis-hit state. President Tinubu made a call during a meeting in Abuja with leaders of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF. The president emphasized that respect for judicial decisions was fundamental to maintaining democracy, stressing that all stakeholders must recognize and implement court rulings. He urged PANDEF leaders to take active steps in ensuring that the rulings of the courts were enforced. President Tinubu reiterated the importance of safeguarding the region's prosperity, likening it to the goose that lays the golden egg. He assured the delegation that his government will not allow Rivers State people to suffer due to political conflicts. The House of Representatives has urged the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to suspend its recent policy that increased automated teller machine ATM withdrawal charges. The lawmakers argued that the new policy would hurt Nigerians already facing economic hardships. The resolution followed a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by Honorable Marcus Onobun during plenary. The policy prescribes 100 naira charge per 20,000 naira withdrawal for customers using ATMs within a bank's premises, an additional 500 naira subcharge for withdrawals at off-premises ATMs in locations such as malls and marketplaces. Honorable Onobun noted that the last review of the charge was in 2019, when the fee was reduced from 65 naira to 35 naira per transaction, saying that the sudden increase represented a significant burden on bank customers. The Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Ms. Zubaida Umar, says state and local governments should take responsibility as first responders during disasters. Ms. Umar stated this during her opening remarks at the Emergency Coordination Forum in Abuja. She said advocacy and awareness campaigns would continue at the grassroots level, particularly in flood-prone communities, to emphasize the importance of relocation when advised. Ms. Umar underscored the need for early planning, collaboration with state emergency management agencies, and the use of seasonal climate predictions to protect lives and property. She reaffirmed NEMA's commitment to proactive flood management in Nigeria and commended stakeholders for their dedication to effective and efficient disaster response. She highlighted NEMA's focus on analyzing climate-sensitive sectors like agriculture, water resources, and health to develop early warning systems and mitigation strategies. The forum aimed to strengthen disaster preparedness and address the challenges posed by the seasonal climate prediction. The event brought together stakeholders from federal, state, and local governments to evaluate the outcomes of 2024 disaster management efforts and strategize for the year ahead. Oyo State traders at the popular Aleshiloye markets in Ibadan Southwest local government area of the state have lost goods worth millions to an early morning inferno. Eyewitnesses said the incident left the traders and other people in the neighborhood devastated. Reports say the swift response of men of the state fire services, supported by teams from 2 nearby companies, curtailed the spread of the blaze. As at the time of this report, the extent of the damages were yet to be ascertained. Sources said the situation would have been minimal if the popular market had a fire station located within it. The monthly meeting of the University of Benin Alumni Association, Asaba branch, host. A statement by the chairman of the association, Magdalene Chiemeke, said the meeting will hold at the ASU Secretariat on Mariam Babangida Way, opposite Subeb, Asaba. The statement enjoined all to be punctual to the meeting, which begins at 4 p.m. You're watching Delta Television main news at 8. Still to come. Ukraine signs a deal granting United States access to a 30-day ceasefire. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Indeed, Governor Sheriff's administration is committed to delivering impactful governance that will improve the lives of Deltans. Take a look at the inauguration of the Boji Boji Owa Mixed Modern Market, which was inaugurated some days ago.
The newly inaugurated Boji Boji Owa Mixed Modern Market, which includes a modern...
Ukraine has agreed to a Trump administration proposal. President Volodymyr Zelensky said in his nightly video address to Ukrainians that he had accepted the deal following talks in Saudi Arabia. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said he would press Moscow to agree to the deal, adding that Ukraine welcomed the proposal. Russian officials were scrutinizing publicly released statements about the ceasefire proposal and did not rule out a phone call between Mr. Putin and Mr. Trump in the coming days. Meanwhile, Russia launched another wave of drone and missile attacks on Ukraine. Tariffs imposed by the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, on steel and aluminium imported to the United States have taken effect. The measure, which raised a flat duty on steel and aluminium entering the U.S. to 25%, ended all country exemptions to the levies. It has sparked an immediate response from the European Union, which said it would impose counter tariffs of $28.3 billion worth of U.S. goods. President Trump hoped that the tariffs would boost U.S. steel and aluminium production, but critics said it would raise prices for U.S. consumers and dent economic growth. He had imposed separate 25% tariffs on other imports from Mexico and Canada, but also immediately announced an exemption for car makers and some other goods, as well as placing a 20% levy on other Chinese goods. South Sudan's government has denied earlier reports that Uganda had deployed special forces to its capital, Juba. Uganda's military chief, General Mahusi Kainerugaba, said the soldiers had gone to the neighboring country to help South Sudanese President Mr. Salva Kiir secure the city. The statement came amid escalating tensions between Mr. Kiir and his deputy, Mr. Riek Machar, raising fears that their fragile peace deal could collapse and a conflict could resume. Uganda's army spokesperson, Mr. Felix Kulayiga, also confirmed the deployment but declined to reveal details. The South Sudan's government did not respond to the reports yesterday, but speaking to local media later, Information Minister Mr. Michael Mukai said the Uganda troops were not in Juba. Concerns about the security situation in South Sudan had been mounting, with the U.S. on Saturday ordering the evacuation of all its non-emergency staff from the country.
Away from the foreign state and back home, in business, President Bola Tinubu has nominated Mr. Ayogu to the board of the Central Bank of Nigeria and has requested Senate confirmation for the appointment. The special advisor to President Tinubu on information and strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, made this in a statement today. President Tinubu also sought Senate confirmation for Nwakuche Ndidi as Controller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service. These are the requests conveyed in letters to Senate President Godswill Akpabio were read during plenary. Still in business, petrol imports surged by 105.3%, reaching 15.42 trillion naira in 2024, from the 7.51 trillion naira recorded in 2023. This was contained in the latest data on foreign trade statistics released by the National Bureau of Statistics (NBS). The development came despite the current increase in domestic refining capacity and the ongoing rehabilitation of state-owned refineries. Previously, the country had spent 2.01 trillion naira on fuel imports in 2020. In 2021, this figure more rose to 4.56 trillion naira, or 126.9%, 7.71 trillion naira, or 69.1% in 2022, before recording a marginal decline of 2.6% to 7.51 trillion naira in 2023. However, riding on the back of a 40.9% depreciation of the naira in 2024, the imports a 105.3% increase to 15.42 trillion naira, the highest on the record. Despite the rise in local refining, production remains insufficient in meeting demands, necessitating continuous dependence on importation. Supply chain inefficiencies and persistent demand-supply imbalances, foreign exchange fluctuations, among other factors, have also militated against meeting local demands, as the rising cost of petrol imports continues to strain government finances and consumer purchasing power. Away from business, the 26th annual Inter-House Athletic Sports Competition of the Girls Secondary School, Utagbo Kwale, Ndokwa West Local Government Area, comes up tomorrow. The event will hold at the school's playground from 10 a.m. A statement signed by the principal of the school, Madam Enwemwosu, says the chairman of the Ndokwa West Local Government, Chief Obi Nzete, will chair the occasion with the President General of the Otagbogbe Kingdom, Chief Theophilus Ado, as Father of the Day. According to the statement, the State Deputy Governor, Semonde Onyeme, the Vice Chairman of the Ndokwa West Council, Honorable Margaret Anowu, and the first member of Delta State Post-Primary Education Board, Chief Fidelis Okolafo, are special guests of honor, while the member representing Ndokwa West constituency in the State House of Assembly, Honorable Charles Emetulu, is guest of honor. The statement has requested the public, particularly sports enthusiasts, to attend the ceremony. The delegation of South Africa's under-17 girls, Botswana, arrived in Lagos today ahead of Saturday's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup second leg qualifying match against Nigeria's Flamingos. A brace by Harmony Chidi, which followed Shakirat Moshood's goal, steered Nigeria to a 3-1 win over their hosts in Pretoria on Saturday, but the Botswana have sounded a big warning that they will not be in Ikene to lie down and be slaughtered. Team captain Katliho Malemba, whose goal early in the second half raised the hopes of the Botswana before Chidi's second and Nigeria's third, has assured that the South Africans will contest every blade of the grass with their hosts at the Remo Star Stadium on Saturday. Saturday's encounter will kick off at 4 p.m. with Senegalese match officials in charge. CAF has appointed Ida Say to serve as referee, while her compatriots Ndeye Aissa Ndiaye Ndeye Sar Ndiaye and Fatoumata Sal Toure will be in the roles of Assistant 1, Assistant 2, and 4th officials, respectively. Ganayana Odofoli Noti will be the commissioner, while Aga Mezin from Cameroon will be the referee assessor. The winner on aggregate will progress to the final round of the qualification series, with this year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup taking place in Morocco 17 October to November 8. Africa will represent 5 teams, including host nation Morocco, at the finals, which has been expanded to a 24-nation championship. The Flamingos have intensified their preparation with training sessions at the Remo Stars Institute, Ikene Remo, ahead of Saturday's encounter. And still on sports, Nigeria's candidate for FIFA Council, Amaju Pinnick, very narrowly failed to retain his FIFA Council seat, losing by a single vote at the poll that took place as part of the 14th CAF Extraordinary Conference in Cairo, Egypt on Wednesday. The former NFF chairman scored 28 votes, only one short of both Ahmed Yahya of Mauritania and Suleiman Hassan Waberi of Djibouti, who each scored 29 votes to make it to the exalted panel. Morocco's Fouzi Legja swept 49 votes with Egypt's Hani Abou Rida and Niger Republic's Dribila Hima Hamido meeting 35 votes each. Legja, Rida, Hamido, Yahaya, and Waberi will join CAF President Patrice Motsepe unopposed for a second term as Africa's representatives at the FIFA Council, alongside Kanizat Ibrahim from the Comoros Island, who collected the women's seat by scoring 30 votes as against 13 for former FIFA Council and IOC member Lydia Nsekira and 7 for incumbent Isha Johnson. Andrew Kamanga of Zambia, Yasser Idris Diallo of Cote d'Ivoire, and Augustin Senghor of Senegal polled 19, 18, and 13 votes respectively, while Benin Republic's Maturin Dochaku withdrew just before the votes. In the CAF Executive Committee elections, Alfred Randrimanapa Piosa of Madagascar withdrew before the vote, leaving Elvis Chetty of Seychelles, Sabah Muhammad Ali Samir of Mauritius, and Fizo Isma Sidat of Mozambique to contest for 2 COSAFA seats. In the event, Sabah Samir and Fiza Sidat were successful. A thought for the day. You can't achieve perfection in an imperfect world. Do not strive for perfection. Pursue excellence. A highlight. The non-indigenous communities in the state has passed a vote of confidence in Governor Sheriff Oborevwori for his excellent performance since he came to office. The State House of Assembly has passed a vote of confidence on Governor Sheriff Oborevwori. This was sequel to a motion moved by the Majority Leader, Honorable Emeka Nwobi. President Bola Tinubu has said the political stakeholders in Rivers State must respect court rulings and uphold the rule of law to restore peace in the crisis-hit state. President Tinubu made the call during a meeting in Abuja with leaders of Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF. And abroad, Ukraine has agreed to a Trump administration proposal for a 30-day ceasefire with Russia as the United States resumes military assistance and intelligence sharing with Kyiv.